Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, good morning, Moore County. Good morning, unfortunate Aberdeen, as the failing racist outsourced Pravda the Pines pilot would like to call you, or does like to call you. Hey, go to the Sand Hill Sentinel. There you can get some, local flavor, some good hard facts, and good reporting on news items throughout Moore County. And with Thanksgiving come up, as always, drive carefully. Tomorrow's a big day, so, walk around that car, check, make sure you got air in all four tires, check your route, make sure you know where the construction is, and have a good day.
All right, got your standing orders. Don't forget, of course, this program is being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. On your mobile device, YouTube does the work. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man in the search. If you're on your mobile device just needing an audio stream, that's pretty easy. Just fire up any streaming applications such as TuneIn, iTunes, Streamer are three to come to mind. iHeartRadio does not work. They only stream stations they own, and they don't own us. Anyway, in that search, you put WEEB, and if you're online, you can always get it off of our website at talk973.com. Upper right-hand corner of every page has a icon that says On the Air, Listen Live. Just tap it once and you're listening just that quick. All right. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area is come on, Napster, and play radio with us. Get so sick and tired of a crappy app. It puts me in instant bad mood.
Well, you know what? Then if you're in a bad mood, you need to get yourself an apple fritter.
I do. Those Southern Angel Donuts. While you were sleeping, they were baking fresh, heavenly donuts. Southern Angel Donuts, Homestead Village Shopping Center, open 6A to 5P. Partly cloudy today, maybe an isolated shower. Don't put a whole lot of stock in that. 20% chance of that happening. Look for high of 69. All the bad weather that's going north of us. We get hurricanes, they get snow. So
that's a better way, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Tonight's going to be clear, though. Low of 42, and for Thanksgiving, just sunny and 60. Pretty much the best kind of weather you want on Thanksgiving. Not too hot, not too cold. Just right. And for Thursday night, clear and 33. Friday, for Black Friday, is mostly sunny with a high of 56. Saturday, mostly cloudy, 56. Another front comes through Saturday night and Sunday. Sunday being on and off again, washout, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy, with showers on and off likely. High of 65. Back next time you see sun after that is Monday with a high of 52. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are south-southwest of 7. Visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure 3003. 2.44. Humidity 80%. It's partly cloudy and 50 right now here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it's 7:34 past the hour. I'd say about half the county that works. Of those that work, half of them are not working today.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
We will not be here tomorrow and Friday. Main reason, our writers aren't here.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I got archives and all that I could use, but it's just, we don't get many days off here, so it's kind of a 24-hour product. So we're going to take them off. We'll be back on Monday. All right, let's see here. Where to start? Well, we might as well get in the flavor of the year, huh? Black Friday's almost here. Wait, maybe it's already begun, you think?
Fire up the savings, because Black Friday is coming! It's the mother of all Black Friday sales, but there's no need to wait until Friday. It all starts Thanksgiving Day.
We don't want to mess with your family time, so our Black Friday sale starts Wednesday.
Well, your Black Friday sale sucks. We're starting today.
Oh, yeah? We already started.
Don't be so lame. We began over the weekend and stuff is flying off the shelves.
We started ours days ago, and we're already running out of inventory. Oh, crap. That came out wrong.
So put your shopping face on and get here now.
Better yet, put your black shopping face on. Wait a minute. That didn't come out right either. Happy Thanksgiving!
Well, have you got your turkey yet?
We're traveling for Thanksgiving. I don't know if we have a turkey yet.
Well, the audience, have you got your turkey yet? Well, you might want to consider Nature Bird Farms. Free-range turkeys, free to move about, is also, by the way, a gun range. So.
Nature Bird Farms. Free-range turkeys. Free to move about. To eat. To grow. Free range. It's also a gun range.
Now!
Nature Bird Farms. Naturally, your choice this Thanksgiving.
Yes, there you go. I have a little. Well, turkey hunting. When I was up in Virginia, Thursday or Thanksgiving morning, we were all out there because all the turkey hunters were out. So, it's a busy day.
As what was I going to say? I'm trying to think of two things at once, and
You didn't have your coffee this morning.
my mind exploded. I got, let's see, where did it go? I got it. Some things about turkeys, and here it is. All right. Things about the, this is from Reader's Digest. It's one of America's history's most familiar scenes. A small group of pilgrims prepare a huge November feast to give thanks for a bountiful harvest and show their appreciation to the Native Americans who helped them survive the first winter. Together, the pilgrims and Native Americans solemnly sit down to a meal of turkey, pumpkin pie, and cranberries. But just how accurate is that image of America's first Thanksgiving? Not very accurate at all. The first settlers at the first Thanksgivings were called pilgrims. Well, that's false. They didn't even refer to themselves as pilgrims. They called themselves, do you know? Saints.
The Saints.
Yeah. Early Americans applied the term pilgrim to all of the early colonists. It wasn't until the 20th century that it was used exclusively to describe the folks who landed on Plymouth Rock. You ever seen Plymouth Rock up there in Boston?
No, I have not.
It's just a little rock next to the bay.
That's what I understand. That's why I didn't make the drive.
And they have a little plaque that said, this is where the pilgrims landed. And right down the street they have a Mayflower replica. It took place in November. That's not true. It was sometime between late September and the middle of October after the harvest had been brought in. By November, say historians, the villagers were working to prepare for winter, salting and drying meat and making their homes as wind-resistant as possible. The pilgrims wore large hats and buckles on with buckles on them. That too not true. None of the participants were dressed in anything like the way they've been portrayed in art. The pilgrims didn't dress in black, didn't wear buckles on their hats or shoes, and did not wear tall hats.
Right. Buckles were actually a status symbol, so, yeah. There wasn't
Nobody had any
status.
brass cleaners. So.
Right, yeah.
The 19th century artists who painted them that way did so because they associated black clothing and buckles with being old-fashioned. They ate turkey. Wrong. The pilgrims ate deer, not turkey. As Pilgrim Edward Winslow later wrote, for 3 days we entertained and feasted And the Native Americans went out and killed 5 deer, which they brought back to our plantation. And it goes on from there and other things. They ate cattle, milk, cheese, lobster. And they mistook, let's see. Okay, and all right, last little fact. The Pilgrims held a similar feast every year. That, too, is not true. There's no evidence the Pilgrims celebrated again in 1622. They probably weren't in the mood. The harvest had been disappointing, and they were burdened with a new boatload of pilgrims who had to be fed and housed through the winter. So there. I had something on the turkeys themselves, but I don't see where I marked it.
Turkeys are actually hard game to take. People think, the anti-gunners, the anti-hunters think you just walk out in the woods and snatch up a deer or a turkey, and it isn't that easy.
Okay, let's keep moving forward. Back to our audio bites this morning. This 7 seconds sums up the typical brother-sister relationship in America today. A young girl is crying on her dad's shoulder, and he tells the brother that someone just broke her heart.
Oh, dear.
Without missing a beat, the brother says, well, I'll let you hear him say it.
Honor, Chris broke her heart today.
Well, that's what happens in life.
Get over, girl.
Oh, dear.
Now, if you're thinking of moving to Michigan, might want to think again.
Oh, no.
Not so sure that they're hitting on all brain cells up there. A guy in Michigan saw what he thought was a koala bear on his fence. So he went down to check it out. It's clearly a possum, but he talks to it like it's a koala. Let's see how that went.
Bro, we got koala bears in Michigan. Bro, nasty, bro. Ugh. Stop looking at me, cuz. Yeah, I'm on tip with you, boy. No, I'm gonna have to leave him alone. All right, bro. Have a good day, Mr. Koala.
Yeah. Actually, if there's a possum and he's out during the day, I think I'd stay away from it.
As a new trend alert, you probably need to sit down and talk to your kids about this one.
Oh, no.
Where they stand in a circle with your friends, looking down at your phone and throwing something in the air, hoping it doesn't hit you. The types of items thrown in the air started out somewhat safe, like balls and eggs, but people have upped the ante by throwing much more dangerous items, like plastic chairs, cones, a wheelchair, and even a small couch.
Ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Next. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's just hilarious, isn't it? When you get hit in the head with a couch. An average Thanksgiving for 10 people should only cost $48.91, according to an annual study. Good luck for getting it in for that.
Yeah.
Or you could head over to Old Homestead Steakhouse in New York, where you'll pay $181,000. It's billed as the most expensive Thanksgiving in the world. Here's the owner, Mark Sherry, explaining why it costs so much.
The Old Homestead has the most expensive Thanksgiving dinner in the world at $181,000. So what we've done with our gravy is we've infused it with a bottle of Louis XIII brandy, which is $4,600. Shrimp, lobster, crab, Otoro tuna at $125 a pound. Sweet potatoes, $1,200 a pound. Bacon that we import from a famous pig in Spain. In these mashed potatoes, we have $480 a pound poulet cheese.
$1,200 a pound for sweet potatoes.
Yeah. Have a nice day. Go
Get a
ahead.
Harris Teeter for 50 cents a piece.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't enjoy dinner like that because all I think about this is costing $181,000. A town in Canada posted an ad for its Christmas festival where kids can go and meet Santa. Unfortunately, they accidentally spelled it. They put the N in the wrong place. Satan.
On purpose.
Yeah, it reminds me of this.
Could it be Satan?
Yeah, that was deliberate there, I'm sure.
The New York on the subways, they don't allow food to be consumed.
Not supposed to, but
Not
it
supposed to.
happens routinely.
But someone served a full Thanksgiving dinner to random strangers on a New York subway train, and the video's going viral. They had everything you'd expect: turkey, mashed potatoes, veggies, mac and cheese, cornbread, and more. It turned out an unknown stand-up comedian named Jodell Lewis was behind it and planned it for months. He even had a white tablecloth to serve from.
You want some of this? Yo, get that man a plate, yo.
Everybody eat. Where the DJ at? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all together on this Thanksgiving Day. There's a lot of people that don't have food. We're very blessed to have it, and we're very thankful. Yo, can I just say one thing before I get off? That mac and cheese was correct.
I guess he laced it all with THC, so it all get him in a happy mood, you think?
Maybe, I don't know. But subway riders, I mean, if he's looking to really have an impact, a lot of people don't have food, but I would say that they're not riding the subway. They're probably laying around on the sidewalk somewhere.
Well, President Trump pardoned two turkeys from North Carolina. They were called bread and butter. Here's part of the pardon.
Today I will issue a pardon to a pair of very handsome birds, Butter and his alternate bread. Melania and I wish all Americans a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving. We love you all. Butter, let's talk to you for a second. Uh-oh, that looks like a dangerous bird. It just escaped. Butter, I wish you a lot of luck. I hereby grant you a full and complete pardon.
Well, those are domesticated birds. Those people that have the wild turkeys running around their town might disagree with the pardon. Turkeys can peck. Yeah.
They territorial?
Yes, yeah. This has happened before. Have you read that article? Or seen it? There's some town somewhere. I think it's in Jersey. There's a little group of turkeys that are running rampant and sitting on everything and pecking people and chasing them down the street.
I'm still looking for my turkey notes. I marked them and I can't find them. I don't get it.
Yeah, they're probably roosting somewhere waiting for you.
Let me scan this one more time. I don't know why. They told that, about what things were called on a turkey, about the flaps and all that stuff.
Yeah, I forget. Got to be careful. You out there turkey hunting. You don't want to wear red or whatever.
Here we go. I found it. They don't call it Turkey Day for nothing. When Thanksgiving arrives tomorrow, 90% of American households are expected to gobble down turkey during the holiday feast. As an appetizer, chew on these juicy tidbits of trivia about the big bird. The turkey got its name by mistake. The British thought it was another bird that came from Africa through Turkey. Despite the error, the name stuck. The heaviest turkey ever raised weighed in on the scale at 86 pounds.
Wow, that is big.
Only male turkeys make the familiar gobble sound.
Right.
Females make a clicking noise.
A click and a squeak, yeah.
If you're sensitive to sound, don't live near turkeys. The male gobbler can be heard for up to a mile away.
Yeah, they're loud.
Male wild turkeys show off their plumage like peacocks when they want to find a mate. They puff up and spread their tail feathers to attract their gal counterparts. Benjamin Franklin wanted the wild turkey instead of the bald eagle to be the official national bird of the U.S. A whopping 45 million turkeys are cooked just for Thanksgiving alone. North Carolina produces the most turkeys, an astounding 61 million every year.
And we're going to have another election soon, so there'll be more turkeys.
And the skin that hangs over a turkey's beak is called a...
I forget.
Snod.
Yeah. Sounds familiar.
And the skin hanging from the throat is known as a...
I don't know.
Caruncle.
I don't remember that one.
Want to befriend a turkey? Make it happy by stroking its feathers. Most domesticated turkeys love being petted.
Yes, that's why they make great, what do you call those animals people like to walk around with? And take them on airplanes and walk through stores.
Emotional.
Yeah, support
animals.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, let's see. Yeah, our schools are doing such, and parents are doing such a good job of raising our kids these days. You know, they think it's funny to disrespect people. First they'll crawl your case about saying something that isn't perfect or politically correct. But the First Lady, Melania Trump, spoke in an auditorium full of teenagers in Baltimore yesterday at an opioid awareness event. And a lot of them greeted her with boos.
Oh, yeah, right. Of course they did. No respect.
Yep, none whatsoever. And this is the product of upbringing, my friends.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you the First Lady of the United States of America.
Those are the kids that are raised in barns and, you know, out in the woods and have animals for parents.
They don't teach them any respect, just hate.
Yeah. But if you do that to one of them, one of theirs that comes out, say Nancy Pelosi were to come out and get booed like that, it would be, you know, criticism all around and, you know, arrests and things like that.
You know, every time I've walked into Papa John's, I've had a bad experience.
Papa John's? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Without exception. And
where do we have a Papa John's?
Last time I went, you know, ordered, they said 20 minutes, show up, paid for it, and then they go back there to get it, and they can't find it.
So they got your picture back there on the break wall, too. Okay. At the post office. Papa John's. Where else they have your picture?
Well, even Papa John's CEO doesn't like Papa John's. Former Papa John's CEO, John Schneider, says he's had over 40 Papa John pizzas in the last 30 days, and he doesn't like them anymore. He also says, quote, day of reckoning will come when he will be vindicated and people will realize his ouster was a setup.
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days, and it's not the same pizza. It's not the same product. It just doesn't taste as good. The way they're making the pizza, the way they're putting the pizza together is just not fundamentally sound to what makes a Papa John's pizza a Papa John's pizza. It's hard to watch this. I mean, every single thing you can possibly do wrong to mismanage this company, they're doing. Stay tuned. The day of reckoning will come. The record will be straight.
Why not set the record straight down? I mean, what is it about the record that's not straight?
Stay tuned.
Well, what is he the one that got fired for making some offhand comment or racist comment or?
I don't know, but yeah, he got fired. I don't know what it was for.
I can't remember. Yeah.
You might be right.
I've never been to a Papa John's. So.
Okay. Let's see. How about things we need to know so we don't sound stupid today? the AMA Awards on Sunday night. You know, that's when the elites come out and pat themselves on the back, the music elites.
Right.
You know, this is the kind of a show like the Grammys. Got its lowest ratings ever, finishing third in the night behind football and Fox shows. Yeah.
Okay.
Bad when you get beat by Bob's Burgers.
Oh, wow. Is that what was on? Is that what they lost to?
Yeah.
Bob's Burgers. Oh, God. That is bad, yes.
Donald Nick Clifford of Keystone, South Dakota, passed away over the weekend. At the age of 98, he was the last surviving worker of the crew that created Mount Rushmore. Uno has come out with a nonpartisan version of the game, changing the colors of the cards so that there are no red or blue ones. Please.
And you don't have to add or subtract or put them in proper order. You just put them in there, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
After 2 years of separation, Fergie and Josh Duhamel are officially exes. Severe winds forecast for New York the day after Thanksgiving may force some of the giant balloons to sit this year out. I heard they would just, maybe the super giants might not get to fly, but how high they fly depends on the wind speed. Some of them may be held to 30 feet and some 15 feet. They all have a number that dictates how high they can go. You may complain about feral cats in your neighborhood in Texas. They have feral hogs there.
Oh, yeah. A big problem.
A group of them attacked and killed a woman outside a southeast Texas home this past week.
Yes, indeed. Bad news.
They hope to have Lockheed Martin's X-59, son of Concorde, airliner up in the air, flying at 940 miles per hour by 2021. The only problem will be you can't afford the ticket. Because what was the Concorde? $2,000-something one way?
Yeah, it was a lot of money.
Yeah, and imagine what that one's going to be. Probably $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000.
Well, you know, if you don't want to spend 18 hours on an airplane from, New York to Sydney, Australia.
Well, as soon as it gets over land, you've got to throttle back. But
well, okay, so then.
Yeah,
but it's still what, a 13 or 14 hour. Al knows because he's flown over to Australia.
So
you go from San Francisco to Sydney, which is all over water, but it's still like a 12, 14 hour flight. It's a long.
Hey, cut that down to about 3 hours, it wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, well, exactly.
But would it be worth that kind of money?
Well, if you're going to stay there, because you're tired of all the crap going on in this country, yeah, it probably is.
To keep up with the world, Mattel will have a gender-neutral dolls out there this holiday shopping season. Like your kids going to understand that one.
Yeah.
And this year, this is today's impossible question. This yearly event has been televised since 1939. What is it?
Televised since 1939?
Yeah.
The Christmas tree lighting.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That was a trick question. 1939. Okay. I wouldn't have got that one.
All right. Coming up on 8 o'clock, all your latest news, sports, and weather is straight ahead. And then we all shall return.
It's a big travel day today in advance of the Thanksgiving holiday. A couple of spotty showers or sprinkles will be possible for the first half of the day. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and windy. Highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. We could have some wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Mostly clear, breezy overnight tonight. Temperatures in the mid-40s. Sunshine for Thanksgiving, and it will be a cooler day with highs in the upper 50s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump kicks off his Thanksgiving holiday break with a rally last evening in Sunrise, Florida.
America is winning again,
and America is respected again.
Trump took aim at the ongoing impeachment inquiry in Washington.
The radical left Democrats are trying to rip our nation apart.
And he ripped former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter.
All of a sudden, his father becomes vice president, and he's making millions and millions.
The president also downplayed his unscheduled trip to Walter Reed National Medical Center earlier this month.
I was there just to save a little time in January. I feel great.
The president and his family will be spending Thanksgiving weekend at Trump's Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach. I'm Mike Gracia.
A week from today, the House Judiciary Committee will hold its first impeachment hearing. If it's not the high winds, it's the snow, and in some cases it's both that's messing with holiday travel. The Pacific Northwest being buffeted by high winds, heavy snow in the Rockies, snow and rain across the Midwest into the Ohio Valley. Lieutenant Gordon Shank with the Minnesota State Patrol offering some advice for holiday travelers.
It's not a bad idea to give yourself extra time to get where you're going or just wait it out.
High winds in New York tomorrow could impact the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, possibly grounding those huge balloons for the first time in decades. 3 plant workers injured early this morning when a petrochemical plant in East Texas blew up. A powerful explosion shattering windows several miles away. The death toll from the powerful earthquake that rattled Albania this week has risen to 25. Crews continue searching through the rubble of collapsed buildings. On Wall Street, futures pointing to a higher open. Right now, the Dow futures up 10 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 19. S&P futures 4 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Let's talk credit card debt for a minute. If you feel you're carrying too much of it, you're not alone. The average household in the U.S. carries over $8,000 in credit card debt. Ready for some good news? With a cash-out refinance from Quicken Loans, you can quickly and easily put some of the equity in your home to good use by paying off a lot of that high-interest credit card debt. A great way to take cash out is with our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.18%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN to learn how taking cash out with a 30-year fixed mortgage might be the right solution for you. And for a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rates subject to change. Pay 1.375% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
A volunteer firefighter in Australia charged with deliberately setting bushfires, contributing to the nation's dire wildfire situation.
Fire chiefs say the alleged arson south of Sydney was the ultimate betrayal to emergency crews, risking their lives on the front line. They insist the accusations could tarnish the reputation of the entire service. Investigators believe the teenage suspect lit the blazes and then later returned as part of his duties as a volunteer firefighter. The Australian Institute of Criminology has estimated that around half of the nation's bushfires are either arson or suspected arson.
That's BBC's Phil Mercer. Hong Kong police say they'll enter a blockaded university to clean up hazardous materials before lifting a 10-day siege after search teams found no evidence of any protesters still holding out. News and analysis at townhall.com. Another Virginia county planning to become a so-called Second Amendment sanctuary.
The Bedford County Board of Supervisors announced its intention to declare the county a Second Amendment sanctuary. Several counties have voted to defend gun rights after the November 5th elections put Democrats in control of the state house. Democrat Governor Ralph Northam has said his party's leaders will push for gun control measures. County officials said they're preparing a resolution that will be voted on a later date. Resolutions that have passed elsewhere aren't legally binding. The Roanoke Times reported last week that they've been passed in Appomattox, Campbell, Charlotte, Carroll, and Pittsylvania counties. Amherst and Franklin counties are considering adopting similar measures. Keith Peters reporting.
At least a half-dozen companies that make or distribute prescription opioid painkillers facing a federal criminal investigation of their roles in the nationwide addiction and overdose crisis. And on Wall Street, Dow futures up 6.5 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Donuts so heavenly you'd think they were made by angels. Southern Angel Donut Company is now open for your heavenly pleasure in Olmsted Village behind the First National Bank. And the angels are up daily at 3 a.m. making donuts the old-fashioned way, preparing wholly taste bud delights like the maple bacon donut or their special apple fritters. And hey, Southern Angel Donuts make great business icebreakers because who doesn't like a great donut? Give Southern Angel Donuts a try today. Open 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily.
At John Law Power Sports and Automotive, retired police chief and owner Brian Beck wants to be your go-to for everything from tires, a clutch adjustment to a rebuild with a whole lot of torque, and even detailing. Weekend bikers and professionals alike turn to John Law Power Sports and Automotive. Got a golf cart that needs fine-tuning? We fix that too. Military, retirees, law enforcement, and first responders receive discounted rates through John Law Power Sports and Automotive, which is why they're the trusted mechanics of Moore County's law enforcement community. Come in today for a free estimate. 212 Stanley Street in West End or call 910-466-9169. John Law Power Sports and Automotive, sharing the pride in your ride.
Your hometown dealer, Cooper Ford in Carthage, knows that there are some things that are uniquely American, like family, community, and Friday night football in the fall. Cooper Ford supports the things that are important to the community because Cooper Ford is part of the community. These are local folks who work and live right here in the community they serve. And with every customer, Cooper Ford is in it for the long haul, every step of the way. And that includes certified service after the sale, customer service that's second to none. You can't buy a new Ford for less anywhere else. That's a guarantee. With no games, no gimmicks, just upfront pricing and a commitment to doing what's right. This community is worth Cooper Ford's support, including all the local families, fans, and athletes representing Pinecrest, Union Pines, and Northmore this football season. Just a few short minutes from the traffic circle off 15501 in Carthage or on the web at cooperford.net. Cooper Ford, always working hard to be your hometown dealer.
Where you buy your CBD oil is just as important as what you buy. Insist on Seven Lakes Prescription Shop. You'll find high-quality, full-spectrum CBD hemp extracts. For non-psychoactive CBD oil you can trust, buy from a pharmacy you trust. Seven Lakes Prescription Shop in West End, North Carolina. Call 910-673-7467. 910-673-7467. Or online at sevenlakesrx.com.
When you need a plumber to do it all, John Cole's Plumbing is the place to call. 639-4933, 639-4933. You know Big John Cole's the local guy. When you need a pro, he's the one to try. 639-4933. 639-4933. Repair it, replace it, he does it all. John Cole's Plumbing is the one to call. 639-4933.
What keeps your house toasty warm, cooks your food and heats your water, and gives you a great excuse to hang out in front of your fireplace? Propane gas brought to you by McNeil Oil and Propane of Aberdeen. McNeil Oil and Propane can handle all of your propane or heating oil needs. Call them at 944-2329 and have them come out to fill your own tank, or they can provide you with a new one. When you need propane or heating oil, call McNeil Oil and Propane today at 944-2329. That's 944-2329.
NCI News. I'm Mike Riley. The news is brought to you by Blue Cross North Carolina Medicare. Over 85 years of experience caring for North Carolinians just like you. The New York Times reports this morning that President Donald Trump released aid to Ukraine only after he knew the issue was the subject of a whistleblower complaint. A new round of hearings starts next week. CBS News correspondent Weizhu Zhang.
Newly released transcripts from the only official to testify from the office that actually froze the aid revealed 2 White House officials resigned, in part because of concerns about withholding it.
A teenager who died after a shooting is reported to be the 100th homicide victim in Charlotte. 19-year-old Nathaniel Lee Eisenhower died at a Charlotte hospital on Tuesday. Charlotte Mecklenburg Major Ryan Butler tells WSOC News.
There's not an acceptable number of homicides, okay? So any year we have more than 0, we're not okay with that.
Traffic safety advocates are issuing word of warning for the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. Tiffany Wright with AAA Carolina says that alcohol use spikes on the night before the holiday.
Beer sales increased by 270%. Liquor sales increased by 114% on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That rivals St. Patrick's Day. That rivals New Year's Eve.
Snow is disrupting Thanksgiving travel in Minnesota. CBS News correspondent Don Daler has more.
As the storm moves northeast, authorities are saying just take it slow and be aware that these snowplows are out trying to clear, so give them wide berth. Also, you have to call ahead. We say this every time, but call ahead, make sure your flight hasn't been canceled, and check for road closures. You really do not want to be stranded out in this.
A Warren County judge on Tuesday denied a plea withdrawal request by one of the suspects accused in a deadly home invasion and fire last year in which a minister's wife was killed. The decision by the judge means Kevin Munn will now face sentencing for first-degree murder. You're listening to NCN News.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we have over 85 years of experience caring for North Carolinians like you. This year, during the Medicare annual enrollment period, we're proud to offer new benefits and lower premiums for 2020. Enrollment ends December 7th. Go to bluecoveragenc.com today to learn more about our $0 premium, $0 copay plans. That's bluecoveragenc.com. Medicare that cares back. That's the benefit of Blue.
The annual Big Tailgate Tour, driven by Continental Tire, is on the road again.
As NC State hosts UNC on Saturday night, find our tents, prizes, and the Continental Tire Toss from 3:30 to 6:30 at Backyard Bistro next to Carter Finley Stadium, leading up to the 7 p.m. kickoff.
Pick up free koozies, t-shirts, and more from Sport Clips and Continental Tire. Remember to drive with care on your Continental tires and experience the ultimate MVP haircut at Sport Clips.
Tailgate with us, BigTailgateTour.com.
An explosion at a chemical plant in Texas rocked an entire neighborhood overnight, prompting evacuations that stretched over a half-mile radius.
The plant where this explosion happened produces chemical and petroleum-based products. However, the exact cause remains under investigation. Video posted to social media shows just how intense these flames were. People living in Port Neches say they heard a blast shortly after 1 a.m. The explosion blew out windows of homes that were several miles away. Emergency response crews went door to door evacuating people from their homes as the fire burned out of control. There are also reports of damage to area businesses and a school. This part of Texas is a major hub for oil and gas industries.
Costs continue to rise as the Coal Mountain wildfire in North Carolina continues to burn. The U.S. Forest Service says the fire is now 220 acres. The U.S. Forest Service, Adrienne Rubico, tells WLOS News.
At this time, we're going to continue monitoring the fire to create those lines between the fire within the wilderness area and the private property in the communities.
There's another hurdle for Boeing to clear before its troubled 737 MAX jets can return to service.
The FAA now says that every single 737 MAX will have to be cleared by federal regulators before being delivered back to the airlines. The Wall Street Journal says that previously Boeing was responsible for the safety checks, but in the wake of the issues with the aircraft, the move was necessary. That could delay the anticipated return of some of the 737 MAX aircraft well into next year. Boeing says it continues to work with the FAA on the matter. Bill Rakoff, CBS News.
A worker at a North Carolina women's prison is charged with having sex with an inmate. 44-year-old Mark Jason Stout of Jonas Ridge is accused of having sex with an inmate at the Swannanoa Correctional Center for Women between September and October. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Mostly cloudy skies out there today. A couple of spotty sprinkles or a light shower possible the first half of the day. It will be windy and very mild. Highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight. Temperatures will fall into the middle 40s. Sunny skies expected on Thanksgiving. It's still a little bit breezy on Thursday and cooler with highs in the upper 50s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills area, it's partly cloudy, 51 degrees, humidity 80%, 2.45, pressure is 30.06, winds south-southwest at 9, visibility is at 10 statute miles. It's 8:14. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Wednesday morning. The West End man's behind bars facing breaking and entering charges. The West End residents alerted the authorities of 2 cases of theft. After an investigation, detectives made an arrest. Anthony Curtis Ingram, 50, was arrested and booked into the detention center on several charges this past Saturday. Those charges included 1 count of felony breaking and entering, as well as felony larceny, possession of stolen goods, obtaining money by false pretense, and other charges. And 2 other men Local men are behind bars because of entering vehicles in Southern Pines. Mason Garrett, 23 of Aberdeen, and James Odom, 41 of Southern Pines, broke into several cars in the Highland Trails neighborhood last week. Both suspects arrested and each charged with 9 counts of felony breaking and entering a motor vehicle, 4 counts of misdemeanor larceny, and 4 counts of misdemeanor possession of stolen goods. Galloway was placed under a $50,000 bond, Odom an $80,000 bond. And First Health Home Care has been awarded the highest possible 5-star rating for patient satisfaction from the Consumer Assessment of Healthcare Providers and System Home Healthcare Survey. First Health's ranking in the patient satisfaction measure of the survey are above the state's national average and for Medicare certified home care agencies. First Health Home Care serves patients throughout Moore, Lee, Richmond, Montgomery, Hoke, and Scotland counties. That's your Sand Hills News this morning from WEEB and the Sand Hills Sentinel. Go online to sandhillsentinel.com for more information. It's 8:16. Up next in the queue, sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
NCN Sports. Good morning. I'm Tony Rixby. An absolute stunner on the college hardwood. Unranked Stephen F. Austin upsetting number 1 Duke 85-83 in overtime last night at Cameron Indoor Stadium. It's the first time a non-conference team has beaten Duke at Cameron since 2000. Here's the call on ESPN as the game ended.
Yes! The Lumberjacks have done it! This is going to be the biggest win in program history.
Subdue Coach Mike Krzyzewski after the game.
If we would have won, we would not be deserving of winning. That's the way I look at it. So I mean, it's on me, but heck, you got to give credit to them. They were really good. He's a good coach and good program, and they outplayed us.
McKinley Wright made 2 key steals to lead number 21 Colorado over Clemson, 71-67 in the championship game of the MGA Resorts main event. The battle for Atlantis opens with 4 ranked teams playing in the early season test through the Thanksgiving holiday. Number 6, North Carolina, number 8, Gonzaga, number 11, Oregon, and number 13, Seton Hall, headlining that tournament. Ohio State tops the new college football playoff rankings as we hear from Denny Cap.
Ohio State leapfrogs LSU for the top spot in this week's college football playoff rankings. The Buckeyes are in the catbird seat with a 28-17 win over previously 8th-ranked Penn State. They'll hit the road this weekend to take on upstart Michigan, which came in at number 13. LSU checks in at number 2, once again followed by Clemson, Georgia, and Alabama at 3 through 5. Oregon's loss to Arizona State sent the Ducks tumbling and opened the door for Utah to take the 6th slot.
You're listening to NCN Sports.
We've all heard about how difficult divorce can be. So when my husband and I made the tough decision to go through that process, we were both expecting the worst. We thought it was going to involve a lot of stress, time, and money. But you know what? It was actually pretty easy. We came across an online service called One Stop Divorce. They offer a simple process that over 500,000 couples have used successfully for their divorce papers. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it works. With One Stop Divorce, we didn't pay any attorney fees, just a flat fee of $2.99. Plus, all we needed was a computer, tablet, or smartphone, and the experts at One Stop Divorce guided us through the process. Yes, it was that easy. Listen, divorce doesn't have to be difficult. If you don't want the stress, expense, or heartache, just do what we did. Go to onestopdivorce.com. That's onestopdivorce.com.
One Stop Divorce. Just a flat fee of $299. One Stop is not a law firm and does not provide legal advice.
PETA is up in arms over the University of Georgia's mascot, Uga, who's been the mascot since 2015. He's a large English bulldog, and PETA says he should be retired. They tweeted that he was being miserable. They say no dog deserves to be packed up, carted from state to state, and paraded in front of a stadium full of screaming fans. The dog mascot, a tradition that dates back to 1956.
Stadium and the University of Georgia.
UGA, the symbol of Georgia for over 50 years, the future somewhat in doubt. NBA action last night, the Clippers beating Dallas 114-99, Denver with a 117-104 win over Washington. NHL, the Bruins beat the Canadiens 8-1. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
Hi, this is Rich Wagner from Whispering Pines. I've been suffering with acute back and knee pain for many months, and after trying visits to the doctor, painkillers, and spinal injections with no relief, I went to see Dr. Wright at Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes. After the first visit, I noticed a lot of improvement, and I've continued to improve with each treatment. Thanks to Dr. Wright, I'm feeling much better than I have in a very long time. I was skeptical about chiropractic treatment at first, but it has truly given me my life back.
This is Dr. Wright. I can't guarantee I can fix every problem, but I will tell you honestly whether chiropractic can be of help for your particular issue. Living with pain is not always the only option. Doesn't it make sense to explore every avenue before resigning yourself to the limitations of pain? Call our office today to schedule a consultation and start living again. 673-2225.
Temple Theater continues our season of more with a third installment of a crowd favorite, the Church Basement Ladies. Join us this holiday season as we proudly present Away in the Basement, a Church Basement Ladies Christmas, on stage December 5th through the 22nd. It's 1959 and the Church Basement Ladies are preparing for the Sunday School Christmas program. As the children rehearse for the Christmas program upstairs, the ladies, known for their hilarious antics and subtle charm, are once again called upon to save the day. Don't miss Church Basement Ladies Away in the Basement, on stage December 5th through the 22nd at Temple Theater in Sanford. Tickets are available at 919-774-4155 or templeshows.com. Sponsored by the North Carolina Arts Council and Wilkinson Cadillac.
November is a great time to purchase a new Honda from Leith Honda Aberdeen. Right now, get easy clearance pricing on all new 2019 models during the Happy Honda Days sales event. With a huge selection of vehicles, great prices, and no games or gimmicks, Leith Honda Aberdeen makes it easy for you. Our service department makes it quick and easy for you as well. We mean it when we say we're easy to get to and easy to deal with. Leith Honda Aberdeen, the name you can trust.
Great news. Right now at Leith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Aberdeen, everyone in the Sandhills can buy a vehicle like a factory employee. That's right, you can get employee pricing today on all new 2019 vehicles during the Black Friday sales event. Remember, at Leith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Aberdeen, we make it easy for you, not only with buying a new vehicle, but when you service your vehicle as well. Leith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Aberdeen. Easy to get to and easy to deal with. Have a great day today.
Whether it's fleet maintenance, auto body and collision repair, or scheduled maintenance, Aberdeen Speed Shop can do all of your repairs. You have a choice. All we ask is you come in and meet us and see what we do. We invite you to browse our shop and see the different stages of premium restorations we do for Sandhills classic car owners. The care we put into those restorations and the corresponding trust those owners put in us is also reflected in our Speed Shop maintenance. Reputation is everything in this business, and it starts with getting comfortable with your car doctor. So stop by for an introduction or just to talk cars, or visit us on our Facebook page. Aberdeen Speed Shop, Highway 211 in Aberdeen. Google us or give us a call for directions, 365-9974. That's 365-9974. Once again, 365-9974. Aberdeen Speed Shop. Let's roll. At Weichert Realtors Town and Country, we understand that when a seller or home buyer walks into a large real estate agency, they run the risk of getting an inexperienced realtor. That's why all our brokers are senior-level real estate experts that meet the highest standards of market knowledge and integrity. Our team members, led by owner-broker Debbie Serino, average 23 years experience and will provide you with impeccable industry knowledge, close guidance, and valuable market information. Weichert Realtors Town and Country wants to welcome Tim Warman, who works exclusively with sellers and brings with him proven systems to help you get your home sold for the most amount of money and, more importantly, the shortest amount of time. Come into Weichert Realtors today at the corner of Rattlesnake and McCaskill Road in Pinehurst, or call us at 910-235-3685. That's 910-235-3685. Weichert Realtors Town and Country, ready to work for you. Each office is independently owned and operated. Fall Fall is here at Duck Donuts of Southern Pines, and so are some of our favorite flavors. Come in and try our delicious glazed apple donut topped with a warm, salted caramel drizzle. Do you like pumpkin pie? Well, then you'll love our hot, fresh pumpkin pie donut, just like Grandma used to make. No display cases here, folks, because all of our donuts are hot and fresh and custom-made just for you. Treat yourself, treat your family, treat your employees. We're located at Southern Pines on 1756 Old Morganton Road in the Lowe's Shopping Center, just up the hill from Sandhills Cinema. Duck Donuts, warm, delicious, and made to order.
Hi, this is Tim Short from J.B. Short Carpet One. Over 400 years ago, a brave congregation fled England, seeking refuge in a land where they could worship God as they chose. Their journey carried them first to Holland and then eventually to America. Along the way, they endured unbelievable hardship, persecution, imprisonment, disease, and hunger. Only half of those faithful pilgrims survived that first harsh winter. In spite of this incredible adversity, the following season produced a bountiful harvest, compelling our founders to offer thanks to God in a celebration we now call Thanksgiving. It's that indomitable spirit, coupled with a keen awareness of God's benevolence toward us, which remind us that even in the most difficult times, we Americans are far richer than most others. This season, join J.B. Short Carpet One in remembering how abundantly we Americans have been blessed. J.B. Short Carpet One is on Highway 1 North between Southern Pines and Vass, or on the web at carpetone.com.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. Queen Elizabeth is 93 years old. I spent the morning reading about her. She's had quite a life, and really has lived her life in a way that does true honor to the title she's held since 1952. She's been the Queen for 67 years. I've got this vision of her holding little Prince Charles. He was 3 when his mother became Queen, and saying to him, "One day you'll be the king, my son." Charles was probably in no hurry, but here he is, 71 years old and still waiting. And the way things are going, if the Queen continues a healthy life, and I pray she does, she's not about to give up the throne. She can't. Somehow the Jerry Springer show has found its way into the palace. You've got Prince Andrew, the second son of the Queen, hanging out and having his picture made with Jeffrey Epstein and the young girls Epstein procured. Then he does an interview trying to explain it away. This in a family where it's a scandal if the royal carriage drives by a J.C. Penney's by accident. Andrew's punishment was kind of harsh, I thought. He's stepping back from his public duties. Wow. One of the other scandals is that Prince Harry and his wife will not be eating Thanksgiving with the Queen. They'll spend it with Markle's mother. That's a scandal? If this stuff bothers her, imagine if Harry announces he's going to move into a trailer park and buy a pickup. Oop, no more pickups, Harry. Hope everyone has a good day, and congratulations, Queen, on not being a Zumwalt. In the Zumwalt Zone.
It's a big travel day today in advance of the Thanksgiving holiday. A couple of spotty showers or sprinkles will be possible for the first half of the day. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and windy. Highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. We could have some wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Mostly clear, breezy overnight tonight. Temperatures in the mid-40s. Sunshine for Thanksgiving, and it will be a cooler day with highs in the upper 50s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills #1 morning show. Mornings with the leader man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Today's show is brought to you by Way Back Wednesday. Hey, remember way back to like the very first Thanksgiving? And Pocahontas brought yams, and half the pilgrims didn't like them. Funny, some things never change.
It's Thanksgiving dinner. Where'd you get those birds?
It's turkey time.
You made me cook a butter
Nice and plump.
and then a green bean casserole. Gobble, gobble, gobble. And all you did was sit and watch football.
It's football!
And ignored all of your Okay, go. family. We're all having a happy Thanksgiving. Your family.
Let's talk turkey here.
So, what's everyone doing tomorrow?
Stress eating.
Stress eating.
Why is that?
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Being with family. It's stressing me out.
Stressing me out.
What are you thankful for?
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and we have nothing to be thankful for.
Well, aren't we, Mr. The Glass is Half Empty?
You realize tomorrow's Thanksgiving, not today, right?
Right now.
It's showtime, baby.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, good morning, Moore County. Stand by your radio. Stand by, get some coffee, have a seat. John Zumwalt is in this morning, and he has a guest that he's going to interview this morning. So we'll have a good show for you.
All right, don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where that link is located. If you're on your mobile device, you can get to it with the YouTube app for Mornings with the Leader Man in the search. If you're on your mobile device just needing our audio stream, that's available with most any streaming applications such as TuneIn, iTunes, or Streamer. Just put WEEB in the search, and as always, it's available on our website at talk973.com. Upper right-hand corner of every page has an icon that says Listen Live on the Air. Click that once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area, partly cloudy, maybe a small chance of an isolated shower, just a 20% chance. Most of that moisture up north and circling around us, so it won't be a big deal. Look for a high of 69. You might as well say 70. Doggone it, we're headed back towards summer already. Anyway, then tonight, clear skies, all that stuff moves out. Low of 41 tomorrow for Turkey Day, Thanksgiving. Sunshine all day, perfect weather, high of 60. Tomorrow night, clear and 33. Friday, sunny and 56. Saturday, mostly cloudy, 56. Rain moves in, another front comes through on Sunday. So that's going to be a wash, 65 on Sunday, and Monday back to sunshine and 52. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are south-southwest at 9, visibility 10 statute miles, humidity 80%, dew point 45, pressure is 30.06, it's partly cloudy, 51 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB. All right, it is 8:32 past the hour on this Wednesday hump day, or Thanksgiving Eve, and time for an extended Zumwalt zone. And John has, there are 9 people on the Republican ticket running for lieutenant governor, and one of those is in our studio today, a local man, John Ritter's his name, and John Zumwalt's going to tell you all about it. John.
Well, thank you, Steve. A lot of folks in this county know John Ritter. John's a local attorney. He'll be telling you all about himself. I want to tell you that just about everyone I talk to, when you say the name John Ritter, the first words that come out of their mouth are, what a good guy he is, what a nice guy. I ran into your employees in your office today, John, and this morning that they were all hanging around Angel Donuts. They want me to give them a call before you head back. So I told them I promised them I would. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Mr. Zumwalt. Thank you so much for having me here with you this morning. I appreciate it.
Now, we have a deal.
Yes.
I call you John, you call me John.
You got it, John.
Right. It's hard to call an old person by their first name. I get that. John, we have a huge field of candidates this year running for lieutenant governor. Have you ever, answer both these if you would.
Certainly.
Well, first of all, have you ever been involved in politics before? And second, what in the world made you decide to run in this crowded field for lieutenant governor?
Okay, well, 2 good questions. And so I'll tell you, John, first of all, I have not ever run for public office. Now, being involved in politics can take many forms, and of course I have always been engaged and have tried to get as much information as I possibly could about the candidates who were running for various offices, and have been concerned about making the right choice or the best choice I could as a voter. I've always voted in every election since I was eligible to vote. And you know, as far as information purposes goes, I do want to thank WEEB and Mr. Adams and John for this exercise in the First Amendment that you are partaking in. I think it's wonderful that you offer the chance for the citizens to hear from the various candidates in the various races, because how else is a person going to make an informed decision unless they have heard from the candidates and have the information that they need as much as possible. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. So that is the answer to the first part of the question, I suppose. And then, why am I doing this? Well, that's another good question, but I'll tell you, you know, I think that this particular office would give the opportunity for me to make an impact in areas that I have concern about, and I can I'll explain more about that as we go along.
Okay, let me throw my kudos in as well to Steve Adams. This is a pretty good service that I believe this station does for the community, and I hope you'll keep listening as we have other candidates on as well. It's so important, as you said, John, for folks to understand, and I really appreciate the fact that you've spent your life researching candidates and knowing who to vote for. I wish more folks did that. Let's get into what does the lieutenant governor do? We've interviewed several lieutenant governor candidates, and each one of them had a slightly different answer, because I don't think there's really a hard, fast list of what the lieutenant governor actually must do.
Well, John, you're correct about that. There is not an exact description. I mean, some would say that it's just the million-dollar question, what does the lieutenant governor do? But there is a function there, and I think I can help explain a little bit about this job. You know, first of all, the lieutenant governor has duties both in the legislative branch and the executive branch. So in the legislative branch, the lieutenant governor is the president of the state senate and has the tie-breaking vote in that body. Now, to be quite honest, that doesn't happen very often, because usually votes go one way or the other, and the Senate is not tied, but there could be very important issues where the lieutenant governor would be the tie-breaking vote, and it does happen, just not that often. But I say that that's important to the job, because you want from my perspective, you want your lieutenant governor there to be a good conservative vote, and that's what I would provide in that role. Now, other roles of the lieutenant governor include serving on the State Board of Community Colleges and also the State School Board. So those are roles where the lieutenant governor could influence policy, would certainly be a voice, and would have a vote and would have influence on those policies, and that ties in directly with my platform, which we can talk about later. I'm just going to focus on your question now, but with that said, then there's another role that I think is probably maybe more important than all of the things I've already spoken about, and that is the lieutenant governor's position on the Council of State. And I think that a lot of times we overlook that duty and don't really think about it or understand what goes on there in Raleigh. But the Council of State has been an institution in North Carolina government really since the state's founding, and the purpose is to place checks and balances on the executive branch. Now, we think about the three branches of government: legislative, judicial, and executive. But even within the executive branch in North Carolina, there are some checks on power there because of the Council of State. And the people who serve on the Council of State are not appointed by the governor. They are duly elected, and each are elected to be the head over various departments in the government. So you can imagine that if you have a governor there of one political persuasion that it might be good to have members on the Council of State who maybe have differing viewpoints, because the Council of State meets weekly in Raleigh and reviews the day-to-day business of the government. So that's a very important role of Lieutenant Governor.
Very good answer. You said you would be a conservative voice. This is what this audience wants to know. Are you a Republican or a Democrat, and are you a true conservative?
Well, sure. Yes, sir. I am a Republican, and I can certainly tell you I'm a true conservative.
Okay, well, very good. It would be unfair of me if I didn't ask you this next. What is your platform?
Okay, well, sure. So, John, the focus of my platform is kind of 2 points, but they're interrelated. You know, one is education, one is the economy. But what I would like to focus on as Lieutenant Governor, if I were going to identify one particular area, now I'll talk about some other things in a minute, but the main focus is going to be to promote trades education in our schools and in our community colleges. Of course, the community colleges are set up for that already, and we have programs in our schools as well, so we have the infrastructure there, but I believe that those institutions have been recently underutilized for those purposes. There's a lot of great things going on in our community colleges, but I think that what is being identified by many people right now is the fact that over the course of the next, say, 10, 15, 20 years, we are going to have a great lack in the sector of the workforce that includes electricians, plumbers, builders, all of the trades jobs. The average age, I think, is in the 50s. You know, so we need young people to realize what a great opportunity there is in the trades, and I would like to use the Office of Lieutenant Governor in part to focus on that. And I think being on the state school board and the community college board, there's going to be ample opportunity to influence that policy, but just to make young people aware of the high-paying jobs that are available in that sector, and the demand that there will be for young people to take those jobs. So, you know, if a person has a high-paying job and also the demands of the various industries, the building industry in particular, is if those needs are met, then that is going to have a great positive influence on our economy.
Well, there are many folks in our community, Moore County, who feel that one of our problems is we've got too many liberals being appointed to these various community college boards and these school boards. And that's part of our problem, and part of the reason we can't get anything done. And what would you? I'm having a hard time wording this question. How would you influence the appointment of members? Would this be a factor, the liberal component that we keep getting? That it seems.
Okay, so John, you know, I can't say that I would necessarily be able to influence who's appointed to these boards, because those choices are made in part locally and in part by the governor. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that is probably going to take a conservative governor, for one thing. But as at the state level, as a member of that board, you know, I would be a conservative on that board. So if you vote for John Ritter, you're going to have a conservative on the state board, as opposed to maybe if you choose to vote for a liberal.
Well, good answer.
Just want to remind everybody that we are talking with John Ritter, one of 9 candidates running for Lieutenant Governor on the Republican ticket. So it is a crowded ticket there. All right, John.
John, you have a real reputation for being a nice guy. I know that part of your criminal law in the past, or rather your law practice, you were a criminal attorney, so you can be a tough guy.
Well, yes.
And we find so many times that when we elect someone and send them to Raleigh, we don't get what we elect. They say one thing and do another. Will you stand up for us? Are you able to stand up against the swamp in Raleigh and speak up and represent the people of North Carolina?
Well, I'll put it like this, John. You know, I have thoroughly enjoyed law practice, and I still do. And it is something that, once I'm finished with the term or maybe 2 terms as lieutenant governor, I would want to come back to my law practice. So I am more committed to that than I am wanting to stay in Raleigh for the rest of my life. So I'm willing to stand by what I promise. I'm not going to make promises that I know I can't keep. So I may just be a practical person in that respect, but I'm not going to sit here and say I can do this, I can do that, when I know that maybe the role of lieutenant governor doesn't even encompass that. So the things that I'm talking about, wanting to be conservative, wanting to, I'm a fiscal conservative too, so I want to watch the spending. I want to keep that down. As conservatives, that's the whole thing. We're wanting to conserve our resources and to have something left for the future. We have to plan ahead, and we can't use up everything now when we have a future to plan for. So I am definitely conservative, or been raised conservative, and I will be conservative in Raleigh. And so I guess to tie all that together, I'm not so much concerned about all of these forces, because you know what? If I were elected and I did the best I could and I did what I said I would and I didn't get reelected, that's fine with me.
Okay. Tell us some other things you'd like to accomplish.
Okay, so, I think that one thing that would be helpful is, and I think that North Carolina probably is not quite as, maybe not quite as divided as our federal government, but I think that there are practical solutions to problems. As an attorney, I've tried to strive to help my clients in practical ways to help them through the various problems that they face. And so I would like to bring to Raleigh an influence of pragmatism and, of course, conservative pragmatism. I'm certainly always going to fight for the conservative causes, but there are so many things that we probably could agree on, even across party lines, and there's no reason for us to not act with decency and to be civil with one another. So I would try to strive, in the role of lieutenant governor to have that effect.
Well, you've got a big job ahead of you there, because I don't think I've ever seen this great nation so divided, and certainly never seen our state so divided.
I just want to ask, with the crowded field like 9 candidates on the Republican ticket, what do you feel makes you rise above them?
Well, sure, and I appreciate that, and I can just say that my heart is in it. I love the people of this state. I love North Carolina. I love our country. There's probably not a lot of difference as far as the philosophy of the different candidates. We're all, conservatives, I would say, by and large. But I will just tell you that my heart is in it, and I don't do things lightly. I wouldn't choose to do this on a whim. For you, just ask my wife and my coworkers. They say, John, you're going to do that. You don't like change, but sometimes there's a good reason to make a change, and I want my work to be positive and effective and good for North Carolina. So I just say that I can wholeheartedly say that I will do what it takes to be a good leader and to try to serve all the people of North Carolina.
What did your wife say when you sprung this on her that I'm going to run for?
Yeah, so that's what I've been telling in some of my stump speeches. That the most difficult part of the campaign so far was convincing my wife Susan that this was a good idea. But the thing about it was too. I knew that we need to listen to our family as a sounding board, because God has given us each other, and we love each other. And we're married for a reason. And so you think, you can kind of trust the opinion of your spouse, or at least need to listen to it. And the thing that has really encouraged me is that she has, and she doesn't like change a whole lot either, but she has been very encouraging, and it's been a very positive response.
Well, as you know, and knew, I'm sure, way before you made your decision to run, this is a tough thing to do, travel the entire state. It involves a lot of money. Are you enjoying the travel? Are you enjoying speaking to people, or do you ever have second thoughts, like, what have I done?
I love it. I love it. It's provided great opportunities like this morning. This is just wonderful, and meeting great people. I'm learning a lot, too, from the people of this state as I travel, and we've been from the mountains to the coast and back again, so it's wonderful.
But you're definitely going to put some miles on your car.
Yes, sir.
What are the... Tell us some more about some things you'd like to accomplish. Are there other items that jump out?
Well, sure. I think that that we would want to champion all the conservative causes. We want to promote our economy, and we want to make North Carolina a good place for business. It is a good place for business, but we want to continue that legacy that we have built over the past few decades of welcoming business and welcoming enterprise and being good to the entrepreneur and just promoting smart growth in North Carolina.
Let's talk about Moore County for a minute.
Sure.
You grew up here. You've lived here all your life.
Yes, sir.
I moved here from Texas over 20 years ago, and I love Moore County. I think most people, people who live here love it for the most part. It's a great place to live. We've got so much right with it, but we've got some things that we could do better. And I'm talking about things like the tier system that come out of Raleigh, and it's no secret I'm not happy with our schools, but I don't want you to address that. I just want to ask you, what are some things you think that you could do as Lieutenant Governor that would help Moore County specifically?
Well, sure. And you mentioned the tier system, which is something that needs to be addressed. I was asked actually in our first debate in Rocky Mount last Monday, and which was an interesting experience as well. But they asked us random questions, that they drew, and so we didn't know what we would be asked. And one of the questions that I was asked was about school funding, and they used the reference, funding in poor communities. Well, Moore County, is a diverse county. We are blessed in that regard, really. I live up in the northern part of the county in the pottery country, and so that's just a beautiful countryside, and the pottery industry draws a lot of tourists as well, and it really complements all that Moore County is about and has to offer, because then we also have the great tourist situation here in the Sandhills with golf, obviously, and the resorts, and so, like you said, Moore County has a whole lot to offer, and we have, in one thought we have families who have been here for generations, the early settlers, and then we have also blessed to have many families who have moved from various parts of the country, and that diverse group of people just makes for a wonderful community. It's just a great place to live. So I would say that that as far as the school funding goes, back to that in Moore County, we do have a diversity of regions and people and economics. So the tier system doesn't always accurately address that. And so what I told them in the debate was, that we they talked about funding of schools in poor communities. And I said, well, the thing about it is that we in what they called poor communities, the people who live there are rich in other ways. They're rich in decency and honesty and hard work, and so a lot of our leaders may come from schools that are, quote, considered poor schools. So we have to realize, that even within one county there's going to be different situations in different areas and different schools, and so we're going to have to address school funding and figure out what would be the reasonable way to make that fair and also keep it fiscally responsible.
Okay, well, for folks who don't know what we're talking about, I just want to encourage you to look it up. The tier system in Moore County is absolutely killing us. Let's change the subject to something that might be a little more fun. believe you're related to one of our more popular residents here in Moore County, Otis Ritter.
Yes.
Is there any truth to the rumor that if you're elected, he's going to be your driver?
Well, you'll have to ask him about that.
I'm sure everyone knows, but Otis Ritter's one of our county commissioners, a very popular man. Folks love him. Your name's John Ritter.
Yes.
Easy to remember. Folks will not forget John Ritter when they see it again. Any relation to the famous John Ritter?
Well, I'll tell you, we have a big family reunion every year at Smyrna Church in northern Moore County, and so they have lots of genealogical information. It draws people. For instance, this year, one of the Ritters who came was from Mississippi. She grew up there in a little place. I think that she said it was called Mooreville, Mississippi, and that was actually named for Moore County because they had migrated down there. And she was a professor at Ole Miss, I believe, but just a neat lady. Well, anyway, it draws people from all across the country because the Ritters actually kind of hail from Moore County after they moved over to the New World. So many of them settled here and then dispersed across the country. So it has been posed at the reunion and had some genealogical proof that Tex Ritter and John Ritter's family actually did have roots in Moore County. So it's very interesting.
Well, you'll have to be my age or older to know who Tex Ritter was, but if you are, you'll definitely know. John, as you travel the state, are you hearing concerns that you had never really thought about? And what are people most angry about? I haven't given you any time to think about this, but...
Well, no, that's okay. You know, I think that there are many great concerns in the state. I think that one concern is just with the government in general being so divided, that's a big concern for people. They worry about that, and they think, well, there's got to be some common ground. There's got to be some way that we can move ahead on things that are of common interest that would be positive instead of just so much gridlock.
We've talked about the fact that you're not a politician.
Sure.
Neither was Donald Trump.
Right.
And he's done pretty well.
Yes, sir.
We've got a couple of minutes left. As I have pretty well bumbled my way through this interview, it's a good thing that one of the two of us were very coherent today. That would be you. I'd like to give you an opportunity to, first let me ask you, how can people contact you if they want to donate, if they want to support you, or in any way ask you more questions? How can they get a hold of you?
Well, certainly. So I'll give you a couple of ways. One, you can find our website at johnlritter.org, and you can actually donate there, and we would certainly appreciate that because campaigns are expensive, so we thank you for that. So check us out there. There's more information there. You can keep up with us on Facebook also with more current updates about what we're doing and where we're going. And also, feel free to email us. That might be a good way to get in contact, and I'll be glad to give you a call too. But my email is contact@johnlritter.org.
Say that again, and if you would just spell it out. Your email.
Oh, sure. The email is contact, CONTACT, @JOHNLRITTER.org.
And John, the last remaining time here, what would you like to say?
Well, I'll just say this. It is a great privilege of mine to be running for office. It has been a very civilized, great experience, a lot of camaraderie even amongst the candidates, and I just ask sincerely for your vote for John L. Ritter for Lieutenant Governor.
All right, well, I hope it stays civil, John. Thank you very much for coming in. John Ritter.
Thank you, John.
All right, thanks to both of you this morning, and that's going to wrap things up for this Wednesday. We'll be back on Monday, so everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Be thankful for this country and for the men and women who protect it and make it free. And don't forget, of course, also our sponsors. Give them first crack at your spending dollars, because when you do, a majority of that money stays here in our economy, rolls over and creates jobs for more of us. And like I said, don't forget millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. So live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man, and the Kick Nick, the Colt, the Dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.